Hello everyone, and welcome back to another week of the Backlog Bunker. This week, since last week was actually a break, to give you perspective on how long it's been, I've beaten Final Fantasy VII, which is very funny to me, because looking at the notes that I have for this episode, the first thing I had written down was talking about the snowboarding minigame and how stupid that shit was, which I guess just to go over that quickly, did someone on staff really think that the 3-minute snowboarding minigame was like integral to the game? Especially when there's no music, there's no real like gameplay to engage with, because it's just jumps and balloons that don't do anything, and then a timer that counts up. It's not counting down, it's counting up to nothing, I guess. And I kind of already felt this way, but it made me realize just how many minigames are in Final Fantasy VII that they make you do that are awful, that just have no bearing on anything important, really. But despite all the nonsense, I did eventually beat Final Fantasy VII. And as much as I've complained about the game, it does do a lot of things right conceptually that carried me through to its ending, despite, again, all the nonsense. Like when I went to go fight Diamond Weapon, I did have a contained materia that I went to go grind up, partially because I knew that it was going to be a magic fight ahead of time, but still, I could have just gone in with the magic I already had, because I already had Ultima and Comet, but I chose to grind up Contain because I could. I chose to get everybody's ultimate weapons because I could. I chose to get Cloud and Yuffie's level 4 limit breaks because I could. Now, was that the only reason? No. I also wanted to make the end of the game easier for me, but it's not like I was completely disengaged while doing the grinding, because there were still things I need to pay attention to. To even compare 7 to a game that I did like, Yakuza 7. I think that Yakuza 7 is a better video game than Final Fantasy 7. It's a video game I like more too. However, Yakuza 7 requires grinding, and it's not fun either. The only thing that really improves is your numbers. Your numbers get bigger. But in Final Fantasy VII, grinding offers you more options, whether it be limit breaks or just the things you get from materia. Though, despite all that grinding that I did, when I did eventually go fight Sephiroth, I ended up not even getting to use any of my limit breaks, so I didn't need to grind any of them, because I didn't get to use any of them. And while that would piss me off in other games for having wasted my time, I was still happier to have had them than have not. So, I guess Final Fantasy VII succeeded in that aspect. And at the end of it all, the story was still good, so there's always that. It's not more important than gameplay ever, but I still liked the story enough to feel it worth mentioning. And the music, awesome. Can't get enough of it. I'm going to save the greater discussion of Final Fantasy VII for when I do my this era of the series retrospective, but for now I'm going to leave it at this. I understand why Final Fantasy VII is such a phenomenon from a vibes perspective, but I don't understand how anyone could come to the conclusion that it's one of the greatest games of all time from having actually played it. Of course, there are always things like people saying ATB way more favorably than I do, but still. Did I hate my time playing the game? Yeah. But I didn't hate having played it, if that makes any sense. I'm glad to have the knowledge under my belt for the future, whatever that may mean. And speaking of the future, I'm going to once again end up being very contradictory to Final Fantasy VII fans, because I thought that Advent Children was a good movie. I'm going to try and keep it short here, because once again, these videos are about video games, not movies, but everyone who says that Advent Children's a bad movie is wrong and stupid. I'll admit, the first half of the movie is really fucking boring, but the way I see it, this is an hour-long movie with an hour-long intro, because I watched the complete edition of Advent Children, and again, that first hour is really, really boring. But once it hits like the halfway mark, around when they start fighting Bahamut, the movie gets really fucking good. And I'm not just saying that because of the action, though it does help a lot. It seems like the dialogue as well just gets like way better around the halfway mark, to the point where it almost feels like there are two completely different teams working in the movie. I don't remember most dialogue from Final Fantasy VII, right? It's a long game, you know, it's an RPG. There's gonna be a lot of dialogue in it, but even with most other RPGs, there'll be like something that sticks with me. Nothing from Final Fantasy VII. But from Advent Children? Sephiroth and Cloud's exchange of, what's your most cherished thing? Tell me so I can take it away from you. And then Cloud going, there's nothing I don't cherish. That will stick with me for a very long time. But then once again, the action, phenomenal. That Sephiroth fight was way better than it should have been. And I'm like 90% sure that Omni/V5 is going to influence my views on choreography for a while. But to go from a high to a low, after I finished Advent Children, I went to go play Crisis Core. And much like 7, I'm going to save the greater discussion of it for when I get to the retrospective, but for now I want to make a simple comparison. I've mentioned before in both Backlog Bunkers and in my videos that Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker is like Metal Gear Solid Lite. It's an abridged version of the same gameplay for a portable console, which, if I was playing the portable console on like a car ride or something, would be fine, but as an actual video game, it kinda sucks and is boring. The same goes for Kingdom Hearts 358. It's a really shitty, small version of Kingdom Hearts, but if it were the only version of Kingdom Hearts that I had when I'm out in the wilderness, then like, sure, why not, right? The fundamental design of Crisis Core is a lot like those games, where it is structured in a way that is best for portable console games. However, I didn't play Crisis Core on a portable console. I didn't even play the original version of Crisis Core. I played Crisis Core Reunion. So if you're going to remaster these games and put it on the PlayStation 5, and put it up next to games like Final Fantasy VII Remake, then I'm going to expect a good gameplay experience, and a good gameplay experience is not what I got. The core gameplay doesn't even get much deeper than hitting guys with your sword, and then sometimes use magic. There's dodging and blocking, but they're not going to make the game more fun, I can tell you that. I'm not sure how well the stiffness will come across in footage, rather than, having played the game yourself, but if you have played the game yourself, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't played the game before, then look at whenever I dodge or finish a combo, and then look at how long it takes me to start my next action. Just know that it feels way longer than it looks. And the story, while inoffensive for most of it, starts to get really, really bad near the end when it starts to affect things that, get close to Final Fantasy VII. Again, this is an abridged discussion for now. If you want to see my full reviews, they're on my backlog. But for now, just leave it at Crisis Core sucked. I did give Crisis Core a higher score than 7, but know that that's just because, on an objective scale, Crisis Core is inoffensive, whereas 7 has way more lows. But if you ask me which one I liked more between Crisis Core and 7, I'll say 7 literally every time. Luckily it's a short game, it's only 9 hours long, and I beat it in a week. I could have done it in even less time if I wasn't moving out, so at least it was over quickly. And that finally brings us to the weekly topic, which is Square Enix themed. Because yes, people, sadly, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link was cancelled. And by sadly, I mean I am celebrating every single day. Kingdom Hearts fans, I know that we're hungry for content, I get it. But you have to understand something. Kingdom Hearts Missing Link was not going to be good. Firstly, it's a mobile game, and those are never good. And secondly, it's a Kingdom Hearts mobile game, and those have historically not been good. Secondly, everyone knows it's a bad thing that you need to play the mobile games to understand part of the story in 3. Did we really want that again for 4? Really? And thirdly, regardless of whether or not you think it was going to be good, even Square Enix admits it wasn't going to be good, because this is all a part of their plan to make more good games and less games total. And while they did not say the words Kingdom Hearts Missing Link is going to be bad, by saying we're going to focus on quality games rather than the quantity of games, and they canceled Missing Link, that means that Missing Link was not a quality game. I am sure, with all of my heart, that we're not missing out on anything by not getting Missing Link. If anything, this can only improve 4. Unless we were going to get plot critical details in Missing Link that just aren't going to be moved to 4 at all, but considering we're not getting it 4 until like 2028, I'm not worried. That's all for this week. Get out of here.